And you've been using the T-Rex effects pedals, and how do you like them?
I really like them. The overdrives that I have, the Alberta and the Twin Boost, are very, very natural sounding. My favorite pedals, and it took me a while to realize this, are just pedals that blow up the front end of an amp a little bit. I mean, overdrives that actually try and imitate a Marshall or that kind of thing aren't not as useful to me because they never sound like the real thing, and I have the real thing sitting there all the time. So the best thing for me is to have a pedal that just kind of explodes the front end of an amplifier, and then it sounds very natural. And both of those pedals do that in a very, very kind of organic way. So you take the amp sound and you just want a little more. You want it to be, you want it to explode a little bit. You want to have dynamic range. You want to be able to hit something with your pick and have it kind of blossom like this. You don't want to have it be compressed and squeezed and squished. Yeah. You want to be able to hit a note really small and have it come out small, and then hit it harder and have it come out really loud. That's the great thing about those pedals, is that they have dynamic range, and that's what I look for, dynamic range.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And not really still hearing the sound of the amp, but just pushing the front of the amp. So.
Yeah. And you've been using the Reptile tube, the delay, right?
Yeah, it's a very, very good analog delay, and the flutter is really important. Because when I use delays, I want to hear the modulation.
Yeah.
I want to hear just a little bit of that rub, and the flutter control is just great.
And it's cool you can have, many different settings actually just with the flutter to create different effects.
Yeah, I love it.
Are there any combinations of pedals that you usually? I know you told us that you're not really using that much in general, but are there any combinations of the?
It's not. I don't really think of pedals that way. I really kind of just turn them on and off.
Okay.
And it's hard to use more than one overdrive and a delay at the same time, let's say. And it does sound more modern just to use one thing at a time usually, so it's kind of either or with pedals for me. Combinations, I don't use a lot of combinations of pedals. I might turn on the Alberta and have a bone dry sound, and then the next tone would be just the amp with the Reptile,
Okay.
I would use an overdrive and a delay. I might use some sort of a chorus once in a while, but even overdrives with choruses, sometimes you get into some weird distortion that's not that pleasing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much one at a time for me.
Great.
One or two at a time.
So what are you currently working on, Tim?
Well, artists that have records out right now that I've done recently would be Dave Matthews, Shinedown, which is a great heavy metal band, and they're going to go platinum this week. They worked very hard to get their record up to platinum. I looked this week and it was at 999,000. So it's going to go platinum. I'm very happy for him. Adam Lambert, from American Idol. Chris Allen from American Idol, the winner and the runner-up from last year, both of their records. Adam's has done really well.
So you do a lot of work for American Idol.
Yeah, and I do some Ford commercials that air during American Idol every week, and that's been ongoing. They have the artists sing a Ford commercial during the show every week. Lately, I've done some more work with Miley Cyrus. I've worked on her records for the past few years. Selena Gomez. These are Disney artists that are really good young rock singers. Joe Cocker's record, I'm working on that. Meatloaf, just finished a Meatloaf record that'll be out. That's great. I got to do a lot of solos and share some time with Steve Vai and
great.
I don't know who else they had, a couple other luminaries, and just did something with Colby Calais. Worked on her last record too. And then various other things. I just finished a movie called Losers that's opening this weekend. It has a lot of guitar on the score. It's kind of an action movie. And it's out in theaters this week, just starting. And then I just finished a video game called Spec Ops for a German company.
Oh.
Or maybe it's called The Line. I think that's the name of it. But so it's a wide variety of stuff. And then a lot of the stuff I do is new artists that are just independent and are Some self-funded, some with record companies, but doing a lot of new artists. There's a lot going on in that area.
Beautiful. So Tim, we talked a little bit about the past and how it was for you to get into this industry. What do you see the future of the music industry and the line of work that you do? Where do you see that going in the future?
As we all know, it's changed a lot. The business is much smaller than it used to be. I'm very lucky that I work as much as I do. I still work every day, but I'm one of the few people who does. And the business, I think, will eventually start to grow again. I mean, there's some ironies at work. Recorded music is more popular than it's ever been, but it's getting money for that music is much harder than it used to be, as we all know. 90% of music is downloaded on the internet and downloaded for free. So I'm hoping that they'll find delivery systems that are enticing enough to consumers to where they'll pay a nominal fee and have a subscription or pay the right price for the songs they want. I'm also hopeful that high definition music will return, because that's really, really one of the problems, is that the music that gets circulated on the internet is of a really, really low quality. And HD in film and television is, a very valuable thing. And I would hope that that would come back for music, and there'd be value placed on high definition music. That might be a good product for the future. Right now, though, the industry has recovered in a way. Every record company has figured out a way to downsize and make profits now. And every record company has like one huge artist, one or two. So things are still good. It's just on a smaller scale. They've all figured out how to do business. Now it's a question of growing from there. And I'm hopeful that new technologies will, be good. I mean, it's certainly better for the consumer now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And I enjoy, what's at my fingertips, what's on my iPod, what's in my iPhone, what's on the internet. I enjoy all the streams of music that I can find now, just like any consumer. And I have adapted in that, I'm affordable, I've found there's still plenty of money on the front end to make records, if you're affordable and if you do things smartly. Records, the budgets are not as big as they used to be, but they're still big enough to satisfy me. I was never in it for the money. I was just in it to make a living, and I'm still doing that, so I'm very grateful. So it's all in a state of flux right now, but I'm hopeful that, like a phoenix, it'll rise from the ashes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everything comes in cycles, right? So I'm sure it'll come around.
Yeah.
On the bitter
It'll never be like it was. It'll always be lean, and in a way, that's good, because a lot of the people who shouldn't have been in the business have been removed. A lot of the people who are in it for the wrong reasons. These days, if you're in music, you're in it because you want to be a musician.
Yeah. Exactly. Tim, I got to say that I've known you now for a while, and you're one of the busiest people I know. And on behalf of myself and T-Rex, and we love that you're able to use our products and that you like them. And I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your schedule to talk to us. And I had a great time. Thank you.
Anytime. Let's do it again.
Beautiful.
Me too.